They're going to look into his scheme. They're going to look into his organization and see all that he's doing. And he doesn't want that uncovered. It's going to turn one thing to a whole other thing. And at the end of the day, when I know I'm clear of all this stuff, they're going to have to pull receipts. I'll give them my phone. I'll literally give them all my receipts, my messages. They could, the feds can look through everything. And they're probably going to have to end up doing the same thing on the other side of things. And if they ever do get that information, they're going to see how they faked all this stuff.
So okay, you're speaking about feds now, right? So this is now... If you're talking about FBI, we're talking criminal stuff.
If it gets to a judicial court case, then yes, we.
So what are you claiming that could be illegal that he's doing? That is criminally illegal.
Well, I would start with the fact that he gets girls, he gets their social security number, and he starts bank accounts.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take this piece by piece. Okay. So
what's it called?
Yeah, that sounds like blackmail and.
So
fraud.
Hold on. Let's take it piece by piece. He takes their social security accounts and does what with them?
Creates a bank account, informs the girl that it's going to be conjoined, but in reality, it's just the girl. Jack then pays out himself at the end of the month because the OnlyFans has to be registered by the female, and the money has to go to her account with her social. So then Jack goes into the account that he created with her social, pays himself, then pays the girl. So at the end of the year, when the IRS comes and they're like, hey, you made millions.
They're going after the girl. They're not going after him.
Exactly.
What the
here's the craziest part.
Fuck, dude.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Okay, so before this video starts, I just wanted to say everything that is being discussed in this video is all allegations and has not been confirmed to be true yet. So with that being said, make sure you take the things that are being alleged with a grain of salt and know that it's innocent until proven guilty. No matter how you feel about Jack, no matter how you feel about Matt, it's innocent until proven guilty. But anyways, without further ado, let's start the video. Alright, hello guys, welcome back to another video. So I wanted to come on here today because it looks like we have some more allegations to talk about. I mean, man, like allegations in this month. Like March is just like allegations month. Women's month, more like allegations month. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's still women's month, but you know, you get what I mean. Allegation after allegation after allegation. And the last person I was thinking I would have to cover allegations on would have been Jack Doherty. But am I really surprised to see like these kind of allegations towards someone as shitty as Jack Doherty? No, not really. But some of you guys might actually be shocked. So recently there has been this situation brewing between Jack and one of his former, I guess you could say, managers, or more specifically just somebody who worked with him and worked on his content, one of his past associates. And I'm not exactly sure how this all started because I wasn't there from the beginning when these first were made against him, but I got word a few days ago that there had been some beef between this former associate, his name is MatthewJgl, and Jack Doherty. Now how this all started was Matthew went on to a podcast to talk about this and the whole situation, and he went on to expose Jack Doherty. Now what this podcast episode is about mainly is how apparently Jack Doherty's girlfriend cheated on him because allegedly Mckinley was in Matthew's bed and they were making out and Jack walked in. Now that's just one of the things that has been exposed, and if I was Jack, that would be the least of my worries at this point. Now ever since Matt tweeted this episode on his Twitter, it started a back and forth between him and Jack Doherty, and that's when I heard about this because I saw a video from Jack Doherty, and apparently this is what he had to say about Matt. My ex-employee Matt has spent the last year of his life trying to expose me online for clout. I'm done ignoring it. The first girl he sexually assaulted was a girl named Sammy at my first house in LA, and nobody wanted to believe her because we all thought Matt, our friend at the time, would never do something like that. But after I hired him a year later and he lived with me, the same thing and worse has happened over and over again. And I have multiple other girls ready to come forward about it. And one of those girls is my current girlfriend that he sexually assaulted the very first day she came to my house. And me and about 10 other of my friends had to break down the door because he locked himself in her room and she was screaming and crying for help.
In the room, in the guest room that you guys had, and he came to the room and he just like was, you know, feeling me, and I told him do not do that, like I didn't want any of that. And then he was trying to like force himself on me, and I told him, I was like, stop, you know. And I pushed him off, and then from there I was like, get out of the room or like I'm gonna wake up everyone and tell them what you did. And he was like, no, no, no. He's like, you wanted this, da 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 da. And I was like crying. I was like, I did not want this. So that's why the next morning I just left. Like, I didn't tell anybody anything that happened. And oh no, I didn't leave. I stayed a little bit, but I was just not being myself. And Morgan like realized that, you know. And she's like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, like I'm fine, like, but I didn't tell anyone. And the next day, like, Morgan was like, oh, let's hang out. I wasn't responding. Whatever, a week goes by and she's like, are you good? And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry that like I hadn't said anything, like, you know. And we FaceTime, and that's when I started crying, and I told her what happened, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable being around him. Like, he basically like tried to molest me, like he was harassing me, and like I told him not to do that, and he was still doing that anyways, you know. And I had talked to one friend the day after that happened, and she told me from the beginning, she's like, oh, you know, Matthew, be careful. And I was like, what are you saying? Like, he's cool. So I called her, and I told her, I was like, dude, like, you were right, this happened, and she's like, that's exactly what happened to me.
Jack then goes on to say, remember, Matt, when the cops were called on you because you had a mental breakdown and threatened to kill 2 of the girls and yourself because they didn't want you? He also beat the shit out of his dog and assaulted both of the girls the same night. Someone help me get the body cam footage. It was on March 25th, 2023 at 2 or 3 a.m. in Dania Beach, Florida. Now, conveniently, when this all happens to be going down, Matt decides to hit up Keemstar because he wants Keemstar and DramaAlert to talk about the story, and it really didn't go too well. He goes on to make a tweet and he says, Keemstar's controlled op dude is paid by Jack to protect his image. He goes on to say, Keemstar just hears the first thing from Jack and runs with it. Not so much of a reliable source. Then he shows some messages in which it looks like Matt has told him about the podcast. And then Keem says, yeah, Jack told me that kid tried to R-word her, basically, and he got arrested for a bunch of stuff. Now, I don't know specifically if Keemstar is talking about Matt here or the other guy, because Matt did bring up another guy who was close friends with Jack, one of Jack's hometown friends, who allegedly did something like that. But anyways, I guess moving on. Matt includes some screenshots of a conversation between him and Jack on text message, and Jack says, we're not going to keep putting this off. We made an agreement to meet. I'm not going to keep doing this. It's getting insane at this point. Like, what the fuck? I'm filming in Miami right now. How about I just pull up and we talk? Matt says, bet. Jack says, okay, I'll be there in like 2 to 3 hours. Matt says, 3 to 5, I'm gonna be at the gym. Jack says, bro, are you fucking kidding me? You're pissing me off. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're gonna regret making this shit so hard for me because I'm about to make it so fucking hard for you if you keep playing with me. I don't got time to be doing this shit. Jeez, I'm sorry about that. It's really hard to read this fucking like bullshit text language, but hey, we're doing it. You have all my shit and all my videos. If you don't come tomorrow, we're going to have a much bigger problem. Matt says, stop threatening me and trying to scare me. You're gonna get all your stuff and your videos. I even told you to give me a Drive account so I can upload the rest of them because I don't have storage. Like, man, I'll just be totally honest here. Like, I know what we're talking about is just simply allegations, but this does not make Jack look good. Like, anybody who wants to do business with him going further, I mean, he is pretty big, and maybe that's why people would want to work with him. But seeing this stuff and how he treats his employees and his associates, like, it really wouldn't surprise me if the stuff that this Matt guy is saying about him is true. Because, I mean, we know how Jack Doherty is. Like, I made countless videos on him talking about how he's just a shit person, and I usually don't call people like a shit person, you know, unless they're like really bad, but it's very clear that he only cares about himself and really only himself. And this right here just shows he treats a lot of people like shit for literally no reason. Jack goes on to say, stop fucking with me. I'm not doing this shit. That's not how we're doing it. You're going to edit all the videos. I don't want them in a Drive. You didn't complete your job. You still have 6 months left. Otherwise, I'm going to get the remainder of the money back. I've already talked to lawyers, so if you want to do this the hard way, we can. Yeah, like, once again, this guy is so shitty, it's insane. Matt goes on to say, looks like we have to do it the hard way. Jack says, you're gonna regret this, trust me. Because what the fuck are we gonna do? Because all I'm asking is to have a conversation, and it'll save the both of us a lot of time and money. Mainly you, but it's your choice. Should I even ask why he was sharing his location with Jack Doherty? That's kind of weird. Just my opinion though, just my opinion. Jack says, what are we doing about my shit? Because I need that now. Matt says, send an Uber and I'll put it in there. Jack says, address, this. All my camera lenses, monitors, anything I bought, I want back. Even the desk is mine. Matt says, I'll just pay you back for the items to make it easier for the both of us. Jack says, okay, even your picture cam, I sent you $2K on Apple Pay for that. Matt says, I bought the cam myself and you later gave me the money. It doesn't work like that. Jack says, so send me the money back. Matt says, I will send you the money for the desk and monitors. Jack says, speakers. Matt says, I will send everything. Jack says, okay. Also send me all my videos organized. So yeah, no, this is like the first part I really do not understand. And it was kind of weird that it was put here for whatever reason next to the Keemstar stuff. But saying that you bought the camera that you did not buy and now you want it back, I mean, it could have been a simple mistake, but you know, still. But also when it comes down to the 2K that you did give him, like if it wasn't under a contract and like you gave him this money, like say you just gave him cash or something, like he has no obligation to pay you back because you just flat out gave him that money. So demanding it back is just really weird, let alone that this guy is rich. And I know I shouldn't forget about the principle. It's like, you know, just because he's rich doesn't mean you shouldn't pay him back or say that he has a lot of money. But I mean, bro, I don't give a fuck.
Can we just talk about for a moment just on how Keemstar is literally paid by Jack Doherty to not report on certain things? As you can see from the screenshots, he's saying how Jack told him that I raped Mckinley and that I was arrested or whatever, which number one, I was never arrested, never raped Mckinley. But let's talk about Andre, Jack Doherty's old friend from New York that actually did rape Mckinley. He tried fingering her in her sleep. So let's just talk about that for a moment, and let's talk about how everything is literally exposed on the podcast that he could report on, and the screenshots that I sent that obviously prove that I never raped Mckinley or anything, and that Jack was forcefully trying to get me to still edit for him. So if I raped McKinley, then why would he tell me that he's gonna sue me if I didn't continue editing for him? So none of it makes sense. So make it make sense, Keemstar. If you're getting paid by Jack, just say it. Don't. Come on, Keemstar. Like it's obvious that he's gonna pull the rape card, especially if he knows he's losing this battle. So come on, Keem. Like look at everything. Understand that you're being an idiot and that you're probably just being paid by Jack Doherty to not talk about this, because Jack Doherty is losing this battle, so of course he's going to pull the rape card and all this other stuff. So, yeah. Let me know when you're not getting paid by Jack Doherty anymore, and go ahead and report this shit, because it's actual fucking facts. And the screenshots go to prove that I did not rape McKinley, because otherwise, why would Jack forcefully still want me to edit for him if I quote-unquote raped McKinley? So, make it make sense. This is all some fucking bullshit. Report the news, rightfully so, and fuck Jack Doherty.
I mean, I don't really know if I would come out and claim that, you know, Jack Doherty paid Keem. I mean, it possibly could be true, but you just don't know if that's true or not. Like, Keemstar easily could have been having like a retard moment there, because he does have those moments, and he was believing something at face value. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that like these are like in DM conversations, so it's not like Keem is going on Twitter or something and then saying this as if it's like fact. Like, Keemstar doesn't know exactly 100% what is going on, and of course he might get shit wrong, but I mean, it's not like he tweeted this out publicly or anything. It happened in DMs. So to say as fact that Keemstar was paid by Jack Doherty when you just really do not know is pretty risky in my opinion. I just figured I would say that. Anyways, Keemstar responds and he says, well, how can I even begin to believe you when you literally just made up a lie about me saying I'm paid by Jack? Once again, you just don't know if he was paid by Jack or if he wasn't. So this is totally understandable. I'm not paid by Jack Doherty, but if you're so confident in these claims, let's get our lawyers on the line. Matt responds and he says, so then if you're not paid by Jack, then look into it and report on it. Yeah, like I'll admit, Matt was being pretty dumb here, because you just do not know if Keem was being paid by Jack Doherty or if anybody else was being paid by Jack Doherty, unless you have proof, which I don't think you do in this case. And like I said before, it's not like Keem went publicly and started spewing this bullshit. It was in a DM conversation and it was private until you made the screenshot public. But anyways, moving on past this. Jack goes on to respond to the original video, the podcast, that was the whole start of the situation, and this is what he had to say.
All right, so I'm just going to address this because it's getting way out of hand, but basically, one of my ex-employees, Matt, he spent the last year of his life trying to expose me and bring me down because he's very jealous and he always says I'm nothing without him, blah, blah. He worked for me for 5 months, and within that 5 months, you don't even want to know all the girls that have like came forward about what he's done to them, which I'll get into that in a second. So there's this video that he keeps posting of him kissing my girlfriend in the back of an Uber, and here's the context to it. That was the very first day I flew her down here, the day we all met her And I literally had another girl in my bed when she flew down to my house that day. And then right after we went to a club and she got all drunk, he would always do this. I would be with another girl and he would have her friend. So since I was with another girl, he was just all over Mckinley, nonstop touching her, trying to kiss her nonstop. And she was super uncomfortable and didn't know what to do. It was her first day there. He had a huge ego and would start to do that with every girl and think they all want him, but they don't. And so then this is what happened. We were on the Uber on the way home. I was in the second row with another girl. She was like on top of me. I was lying down. We were all drunk. And I had my arm up like that. And Mckinley was holding my hand in the video of him kissing her. And you can see in the video, she's not even kissing him back. She's just there, very uncomfortable, holding my hand in the beginning of the video, and then goes to hold it again at the end of the video. You can see it all. She was very uncomfortable. That's why she was holding my hand while I was literally with another girl. Like, bro, do you not get the memo? And that's where everything went south. Because when we got back to the house, she's like, please help me. He won't stop, like, touching me and trying to kiss me. I'm very uncomfortable. Like, please just help me. But just don't tell him I said this to you, blah, blah. So then me and my friend Logan had to go confront him about it. And he exploded, had a mental breakdown, started screaming, went into her room, locked himself in there in her room. And I had 10 of my hometown friends at my house because it was spring break and they were all visiting me. We were all going to go out to the club. And we had to break down the door because she was screaming and crying in the room. And you wouldn't let her out of the fucking room because you're a sick fuck. And you've done this to multiple other girls, but way worse. You've gotten way farther with them. And I can get into that. We have all the girls ready to come forward about you, bro. You're a piece of shit. No girl ever wants you. And yeah, I don't know why you're even trying to bring this to the internet because I have so much dirt against you and I have so many girls ready to come forward about you. And you've done way worse. We had to call the cops on him once because he threatened to kill 2 of the girls and threatened to kill himself. And he beat the shit out of his dog that day. Body slamming his dog, punching the fuck out of him. Me and my friend Logan literally fucking were about to beat the shit out of him for it, but the cops were there. The cops got there. It was an insane fucking night. So much shit went down. And if this guy really wants to start, I have so much dirt against him, bro. So let's keep going.
So after watching this response to that podcast by Jack, there are some holes in what he was saying because I did already see that there is proof that what he is saying about Mckinley isn't necessarily true. And I figured I would just bring this up before we show Matthew's response. But there is a now deleted tweet from Matt where him and Mckinley were kissing. And there was also a nip slip, by the way. So that's why that was not up anymore. That's why it got deleted. That's why he took it down. And just based off of that, I mean, it just shows that there were some feelings that they both had for each other, and it wasn't just Matt like pressuring her into doing things with him and him being a creep and taking advantage or anything like that. But anyway, here's Matt's response.
Here I am to address the stuff that Jack is posting on Twitter. First off, when we went to Rock Bar and the first day that Mckinley got there, she was super into me. She didn't even know that me and Mitchie had a thing. She wasn't aware of most of the things that were going on, and she was super into me, whatever. We were done at Rock Bar, we're in the back of the Uber, and that's where you see the video of me kissing Mckinley. And Jack wasn't even with the girl that entire day. He didn't have another girl, so I don't know what he's talking about that he had another girl. He's capping about it entirely. And he wasn't holding her hand in the car at all because he was in the passenger seat, so I don't know how you could hold her hand in the from the passenger seat and we're in the back seat. So he's completely lying. He was never holding her hand in the car that day of, so don't know why he's lying about that, but whatever. So we make our way back home. Mitchie takes Mckinley into the room. Mitchie explains to Mckinley that I'm a player, I do this type of stuff. So then Mckinley got the image in her head of, if I want to stay in this house, I have to homie hop to Jack so I could stay here. So that's exactly what she did. She shifted her energy towards Jack. Jack never had a girl in his room. He's lying about having a girl in his room. I don't know why he's lying about that, but whatever. He's lying about having a girl in his room. And when I was back in my room, I was asking Mckinley, like, what's good with her? Like, do you want to get with Jack? Because if so, we share underwear, we can share girls. And she was like, no, you're good, you're good. Like, I like you, like, you're fine, you're doing everything fine. And I remember that I had asked her, like, if she wanted to go with Jack, and she said no, like, literally word for word. And I remember we'd be making out in my room, somebody knock at the door, I'd go get the door, and then when I go back to my room, McKinley's gone. So I kind of got the gist that she wanted to move on to Jack. So that's why I literally asked her, like, I can give you up to Jack if you really want that. And she doubled down, and she said that she liked me, she didn't like Jack, Jack's not even her type. So in my stance, it's super confusing. This girl's telling me one thing, and then I have Jack and Logan telling me that she's scared of me. So it's like, at the end of the day, how the fuck am I supposed to know that this girl's not liking me when she's literally telling me to my face that I'm fine and I'm doing everything fine and everything? So it's like, and also all these other girls, go ahead and drop it. There are no other girls because it's all fake. So go ahead, Jack, like, drop whatever you gotta drop, and I'm gonna go ahead and debunk it because you are fucking insane. Fuck you, Jack Doherty.
So yeah, okay, I do believe this. Like, I'll be honest, I actually do believe it because he did show that video, and I know I can't show it because it was taken down and because it has, you know, a nipple in it. But yeah, no, there is proof that they were into each other. So I do believe what he is saying here about it. I don't know about you guys, but I believe this. Now, on top of this, and if you do not believe him, another reason on why I think you should believe him when he's saying this, at least this part, is that he shows the conversation he had between Mckinley. I'm only going to read one of these and then I'll show the rest of them on screen just so you guys can understand that she was actually into him. Matt says, hopefully I see you this weekend. Mckinley says, yes, I hope so too. I'll keep you guys updated. Just gotta get the bread up. Matt says, you can easily get the bread up with us trust. You don't really have an option. I might have to go over there and steal you. Mckinley goes on to say, you can come steal me for sure. Matt says, filling my tank right now. Mckinley says, let me know when you're here. Matt says, I gotta get a few things before I get there, but just for research purposes, what's your ring size? Mckinley says, oh, perfect. I can easily give you that answer and help you out. I'm a size 8. So yeah, definitely by the way that this conversation is going already, you can tell that Mckinley is interested in him, definitely. And what he is saying in that response makes sense. So it looks like Jack might have lied. Now, it looks like while this was all going down, Jack and Matt were messaging each other. Jack said, delete this video now. You're posting a video of her fucking nipple, you idiot. This is revenge porn. You are done. Matt says, you barely see it. It's not even out, and she does porn for a living, goofy. Yeah, no, I feel like it's a reach to say that this is revenge porn because like he said, she already has OnlyFans. She already puts her body out there. It's not like her without her clothes on being shared on the internet is like a big thing and it's gonna really fuck her over because she's already on the internet and people can, like, if people wanted to see her like naked, they could go to her OnlyFans. It's not like, oh, you leak something, oh, her body was never shown on the internet before and now she has to deal with all this hate and harassment. So no, I definitely believe that that is a reach. Let alone that, like, didn't Jack and Mckinley do like a porno and then it got leaked? Like, as far as I'm aware, that was not recorded for just like the hell of it. It was obviously recorded to go on like an OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure it's on her OnlyFans and it's available publicly. So yeah, no, you can't say this is revenge porn. And also at the same time though, I mean, it was obviously a mistake. Like, he didn't even, like, I don't even think he really noticed it because I feel like if he did notice it, maybe he would think to not post that. And also when Mckinley texted him, he said it wasn't even out. So I'm just guessing he really did not realize that. So to try and twist it on him and say it's revenge porn is just, that's kind of fucking stupid. Now it looks like we have a response from Mckinley herself here, and it's actually very long. Good stuff. I'm just kidding about that. But yeah, she says, part 1, addressing everything. Matt called me on Instagram when I got home from Vegas and started talking about how the entire group wanted to see me. At this time, I wanted friends and had no intention of starting any relationships. On the Instagram call, he begged me to come to Florida. After countless times saying no, I eventually hung up. However, with Michelle and Jack wanting me to come, I decided to go. He was flirting with me and also talked to me about ideas he had for photo shoots. When I was at the airport, I got a call from Matt saying, I just wanted to let you know that Jack is planning on rizzing, but he doesn't know you and I are together. I awkwardly said him and I weren't together and told him I didn't know how to respond to that because we have only spoken to each other on the phone for a day. When I got to the house, Matt was the first one to let me inside. I put my things down and he asked if I wanted to see pictures he took from a photo shoot in LA. The second I walked in to see the pictures, he forcefully grabbed me by the neck and kissed me, and I pulled back saying I was tired from my flight. He had the door closed, and as I was trying to leave, he pulled me closer and said I could take a nap in his room. I was extremely uncomfortable in that situation and was put in a very awkward position behind a closed door with him. I was laying down and decided to completely face the opposite way, even putting a pillow in between us as he was on his laptop. He occasionally tried to put his hands in my pants, but I would turn over more to avoid it, and he wasn't able to. As I was sleeping and waiting to hear someone else in the house, Jack came in and asked if we wanted to go to the club. As soon as he came in and opened the door, I used that as a way to leave. I ran out of Matt's room and went to the bathroom. Michelle came over and we got ready in the bathroom for the club. Matt came in and grabbed me by the waist, and I was extremely uncomfortable. He then came to me and started talking about how he was falling in love with me. He wanted to propose to me. He wanted to steal me and make me his wife, etc. And all this happened within an hour of being here. When we all went to the club, I was drunk, and every time I stood up or walked away from him, Matt would pull me by my belt loop and tell people that I was his fiance. Especially when I tried to talk to Jack, he got extremely mad and insecure. At the same time, I met Claire for the first time. I didn't have to say a word for her to come to me and for her to come over to me and already know the exact situation I was dealing with because she knew what type of person he was. She brought me to the bathroom and told me to stay by her side. We left the club club and Matt goes in the back seat with me and Jack sat in the seats in front of me with Claire and her friend. The second he got in the car, I had my entire body over the car seats holding Jack's hand. Matt was kissing the back of my neck and back, and at this point, I was trying to get over the seats because I was trying to push him off of me. The video he posted, you can see me clearly over the seat. He pulls me back to try to kiss me. I was drunk, but didn't even move my head. Matt noticed this, and the second we got back to the house, he barged into my room I was staying in and slammed the door shut. He was extremely mad that I was giving attention to Jack and started to scream at me. I told him I was getting to know everyone and didn't want to make anyone upset, but he got even more upset and threatened to off himself, and everyone hated him and he's gonna leave. I opened the door and ran to Jack's room because everyone was hanging out in there, and when he saw I was talking to Jack, he came in and grabbed me by the hand, Ocean Man, and brought me outside of the room where he screamed at me again for going to Jack's room and said I was a magnet to Jack. I ran into his room again and told Jack and Logan to help me, and right away Matt came into the room and Jack and Logan both saw Matt try to go on top of me and kiss me, but I backed away, clearly uncomfortable. They immediately told him to chill out, but that got him even more mad. He ran into my room again and confronted me about telling them that I was uncomfortable. I straight up told him in that moment that I was uncomfortable, but he kept talking in circles and not letting me leave while yelling at me, and I was crying. That's when Jack and all the guys at the house had to kick the door down and tell him to leave me alone. I ran out of the room sobbing and Jack followed me. We talked and he fully comforted me about the whole situation, and with my room being right across from Matt's room, I asked Jack if I could sleep with him in his bed. From that point forward, Jack and I were getting to know each other more and more, and Matt was upset seeing it happen in front of him. There was very awkward tension between Matt and everyone in the house, especially after the cops got called on him that same week for threatening and assaulting another girl and his dog for the same type of situation. I want to finish by saying, fuck you. You claim to be godly, yet everything that comes out of your mouth is fucking disgusting. You're a manipulative, gaslighting piece of shit. There's so much more to say and so many more girls wanting to come forward about you. Well, then why don't they? There's a reason why nobody works with you and why all of these big names have dropped you. You're a lying manipulator, and you're doing this to try to take Jack down because the only thing you pray for is his downfall. Stop being jealous, and maybe if you put as much effort as you put into talking about other people into yourself, you'd be way happier and wouldn't dwell on the past as much. Here's your clout, bitch. Go fuck yourself. I mean, when it comes down to this, I don't think she's telling the truth. And I could easily say, oh, she's being paid by Jack, but hey, maybe that's the case, maybe it isn't. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if that was the case and everyone around him is being paid to, you know, go after him and make up these stories against him. But I just want to say, I do not think this is true. One, no evidence was shown at all. Nothing. Nada. Just hearsay. And you guys know how I feel about hearsay. And who in the hell says they're tired and then goes to the club when they're tired? Like, who does that? I'm sorry, but it just doesn't make sense. But besides that, you know what's crazy? Is that what the fuck are these messages then? The messages we just went over, where she looked like she was really interested in him, and also there's videos and photos of them being together like there's nothing fucking wrong. Like, what's he doing? Does he have a gun to your head or something? Like, just because of that and the receipts that he provided, I don't buy any of this. And you're talking about how he's the manipulator? Really? I honestly think she's being paid. Now, I'm not going to claim that as a fact, but that's what I think. And I really wouldn't be surprised when it comes down to Jack, because she fully showed interest in him, and it's not like he was the only one who was interested and he was the creep and she just didn't want anything to do with him. That was not the case. So yeah, this whole thing got shot down. I mean, there was no point in even making it. And yeah, it looks like that's that. Now, the next part of my video is the part that you guys probably clicked on the video for, which is the wild allegations that have been made against Jack by Matt. And to help go over this, I'm going to be showing some portions of a stream that happened last night where Matt was interviewed and he was asked questions about like this situation overall. And more specifically, Matt talks about how like Jack Doherty probably would not go and try to sue him, because if he does that, it would uncover like a whole bunch of like shady things that he's done, and it would potentially expose his alleged criminal operation that he has been running. Now, me saying criminal operation is my words, not Matt's. But yeah, just before we take a look at this, I wanted to give a special shout out and thank you to TheJoker on Kick for doing this interview, because this helps clarify a lot of things. And I'll be honest, I do shit on Kick streamers quite a bit, but I think TheJoker, like, that guy is definitely based. So, I mean, if you do have a Kick, make sure you go follow him, because I watched that whole stream yesterday and I thought it was really good. Anyways, without further ado, let's hear what Matt has to say about this.
Good.
So here's the post that I just pulled up in front. It says, "Yet he fired me," and then there's like a bunch of like screenshots that you had, and this here is showing Jack saying, "When you can send the rest of Vanna's videos, I offered to pay $20 per vid, but that was if you grind them out that day. So you're only taking 1 day off from editing videos, so on and so forth." So what is this? Why is it that you showed these DMs?
So it came to a point that was actually when Mckinley entered the picture, and get this, Jack had already told me I'm replaceable. He had already told me many things that just discouraged my relationship with him. Just for me to have him on my computer screen, you know, it's not easy to just edit for someone that has already crossed the line with you. So I became lazy, quote unquote, as you could say, as he would say. And I just didn't want to do any more videos for him. I just saw, how is this going to benefit me? He already backtracked on his word he paid me the 6 figures up front for the year, but he also said that I would get 20% of the YouTube, and he took away his word on that. And he just said, "Why should I pay you any more money?"
So he had offered you 20% of his YouTube revenue for being an editor for him. Okay. And then he never paid you that money at all?
No, he didn't pay me the money at all, and he actually even said, "Why should I give it to you?" As if I didn't generate him millions and millions of dollars and average him 1 million subscribers a month on YouTube.
Was this in writing at all, by any chance?
No, nothing was in writing. That's why I was able to walk away perfectly fine.
Okay, so yeah, if that is true, if he did say he was going to give 20% of all of the YouTube earnings and he just didn't do that, like, that does make him a piece of shit, honestly. But at this point, we just do not know if that's true or not. But also, it is mentioned that this was never under a contract, so that means nobody was going to be held liable for paying, you know, say like the 20% that he was supposed to get. And I mean, to be honest, if this is true, it really doesn't surprise me.
Right. Okay. So let's get into that, right? Because one of the questions that the panel had that we were actually discussing prior to having this conversation here is what happened. What was the falling out? Was it the fact that you guys just you didn't work for him anymore? Like the whole, like, you got, you know, fired? Like what happened there?
I would say really like, cause I never got fired. He wanted me working for him till the end of everything. Like, he said he was gonna sue me if I didn't keep editing for him. So I would really say that.
So he didn't fire you.
No, he never fired me. He literally was telling me, come, like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Like, come on, please, let's talk about this. Like,
so why does that sound? That sounds like he's trying to pin you for like work.
Yeah, I literally have messages of him saying like, come, let's talk about this. If you don't, and if you make this harder, like, I'm gonna make your life so hard. And I have messages of him just like threatening me of like.
So I guess that does prove that Jack didn't really want to fire him, and he wasn't really fired. He sort of just walked away from it. But I also find it really weird, and I really didn't show this. Like, this dude really wanted Matt working for him, and I find it so weird that Jack would potentially say that he's gonna sue somebody because, you know, they didn't want to work for him anymore. Like, that's just insane. And also, to add another thing, like, Mckinley and Jack are trying to use the point that, like, nobody wants to work with him, yet Jack is trying so hard here to work with him, at least before all of the drama went down. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else, but anyways.
He can bring these lawyers, but he's gonna come to realize that the government and the federal the federal part of it is going to get crazy. Like, they're going to look into his scheme, they're going to look into his organization and see all that he's doing, and he doesn't want that uncovered. It's going to turn one thing to a whole other thing. And at the end of the day, when I know I'm clear of all this stuff, they're gonna have to pull receipts. I'll give them my phone. I'll literally give them all my receipts, my messages. They could, the feds can look through everything, and they're probably gonna have to end up doing the same thing on the other side of things. And if they ever do get that information, they're gonna see how they faked all this stuff.
So okay, you're speaking about feds now, right? So this is now, if you're talking about FBI, we're talking criminal stuff.
If it gets to a judicial court case, then yes, we.
So what are you claiming that could be illegal that he's doing, that is criminally illegal?
Well, I would start with the fact that he gets girls, he gets their social security number, and he starts bank accounts.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take this piece by piece. Okay. So
what's it called?
Yeah, that sounds like blackmail and.
So
fraud.
Hold on, let's take it piece by piece. He takes their social security accounts and does what with them?
Creates a bank account, informs the girl that it's going to be conjoined, but in reality, it's just the girl. Jack then pays out himself at the end of the month because the OnlyFans has to be registered by the female, and the money has to go to her account with her social. So then Jack goes into the account that he created with her social, pays himself, then pays the girl. So at the end of the year, when the IRS comes and they're like, hey, you made millions.
They're going after the girl. They're not going after him.
Exactly.
What the
here's the craziest part.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, does it really surprise me? Not really, but I mean, this is all allegations for right now, but if this does happen to be true, yeah, this guy, he's fucked. He's literally just fucked. And I don't mean necessarily like, oh, they're gonna get him and arrest him and throw him away for a long time. I mean, like, he's just like, he's a fucked person. Like, from everything that we've already gone over with him, and then this added to it, like, it just makes total sense. And I'm not saying that this is fact because we just don't know yet, but now it just makes sense on why he might not necessarily want to sue this guy, because if he does that, then it will uncover some things that maybe he doesn't want, you know, coming out. I mean, there was always a rumor that Jack was doing this sort of thing, because I remember at one point, Natalie Reynolds, somebody who he used to work with, had came out talking about how, like, Jack used her and she signed some shady contract and she was being taken advantage of, allegedly. I am terminating my OnlyFans contract with the scammer Jack Doherty. This kid has done nothing but take advantage of everyone around him. Disgusting. Okay, and sorry Jack didn't want Sam's OnlyFans contract in your name. It has to be his name. He is the better pimp. Yo, Jack, remember being mad because Kanan was trying to get Sam's OnlyFans contract under his name? Y'all are siding with each other, but both fake as fuck to each other. How is this real? Jack will try to sue me now that I removed him from the OnlyFans account and locked it down, even though he breached contract and forgot to add a end date. Else scammer, do something about it. Like, I'll be honest here, I would really not be surprised if this was going down, because it makes me wonder. I mean, I know Jack claims to have these rental properties and whatnot, and he has the revenue that he's making off of Kick and his own OnlyFans, blah, blah, blah. But what if there was something else out there, something nefarious that he was doing that was making him all his money? I don't know if it's 100% true, but I really would not be surprised. And these are really damning allegations if they are true. And if they are true, the feds really need to look into this.
So here's a screenshot from Matt. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen real quick. This is where Jack is saying that he's going to make Mckinley sign a waiver / NDA, but really it's an OnlyFans contract. $3,000 a month and a t-shirt. I keep the rest. And then he says fax 2 t-shirts. And then there's another thing that says, or like a DM within a DM that says, McKinley asked me to stay with her. Only bed available is my bed though. What is that about?
That's weird.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy time. So that was already when the whole atomic bomb came through, and everyone in the house knew what the situation was with McKinley, that she's a cloud chaser. We all know why she's doing this. Even Jack even knew at this point. Like, Jack knew what she was on. And I was constantly telling Jack, have this girl go home. Like, why is she still here? Why is this girl still here? And I made him choose. I was like, bro, pick me or this random girl we met a week ago. Like, seriously, like, it's getting out of hand. And then so his reason to why he doesn't want to send her home yet, he's like, well, let me at least still try to get her on OnlyFans, and then if that's a lost cause, then fuck it, she goes home.
Yeah, man, it's like, once again, I mean, what can I really say here except for I'm not surprised? And I know it's not like 100% confirmed, but I'm not surprised. Just not surprised. I mean, I already heard about the rumors back in November of last year, like, and just the way Jack is, I'm really not surprised. So for this next part, Matt brings up Jack Doherty's drug addiction, alleged drug addiction, and he claims that Jack Doherty is on Adderall, and he's abusing that substance.
His Adderall abuse is really just so bad to the point where he has no feelings, and anybody that's around him is going to see that right away. And his own brother tells everyone that they meet, his own brother, whenever somebody new comes into the house, his brother's first to say, yeah, all Jack cares about is money and Adderall. That's it.
So money and drugs.
Yes, money and Adderall.
So well, why are you laughing, Chavez?
It just sounds like a fucking insecure digital pimp, dude. That's what it sounds like.
If that is true with the Adderall abuse, I mean, it would make total sense. And once again, it's not really surprising to me that all this is potentially true, because once again, it's just allegations and we don't know for sure. But I mean, you can just see it in the way that he acts. Like, we've seen it so many times with him going out in public, just harassing people for his own financial gain. I remember specifically, and I was getting a lot of comments for this, in one of my previous videos videos, we were talking about how Jack and the Island Boys got into a fight and bro called his girlfriend a bitch and took the longest time to see if she was okay. Oh, and by the way, I say girlfriend with quotes because I don't know. I feel like it's all an act. But yeah, I can obviously see what they are talking about, and I know it's just allegations, but it really would not surprise me. So for the next part here, they talk about the 17-year-old allegations, quote unquote. I personally did not hear about this until now, and this has to do with that girl that Mckinley was talking about earlier in her response to Matt, and allegedly, this is in my own words, not anybody else's. She was groomed, because what they discuss is what that sounds like.
Let's talk about the 17-year-old allegations here. So obviously there's some issues where you have claimed that these girls are being essentially groomed from 17 years old, and then he signs them. Is that right in saying it?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say groomed, but he tries every book in the book to influence these girls into starting OnlyFans. And like I think like Claire's a good case study. Like Claire, she was 17 at the time when she was always at our house, and I remember like we would always ask her how old she is, and she always just said 18, and like we just knew something was off. And eventually we found out she was 17, and then that was because her 18th birthday came around, so that's when we all found out. And it's crazy because she was in the club with Jack making out when she was 17. But I mean, Jack was like 19 or 18 at the time, so it really isn't even that fucking crazy. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just so like he lied to us.
I'm gonna pull this up real quick, where Jack actually responds about the 17-year-old allegations. Now, Neon did a video on Jack Doherty and exposed this as well, and then apparently he retracted the statement later on, apologizing from what I heard. Can't clarify on that or not, but here's what that you tweeted, where you took a screenshot, or not screenshot, but retweeted from Crazy Olaf Wolf. And he said, 17-year-olds can sign contracts or start OnlyFans, idiot. Now, was he saying can or can't? Was that a typo?
That I don't know. That's why I said it made me laugh. Like
in the context, it looks like he was like sporadically typing and meant to say can't because he said or start. The way like if you look at the structure of the sentence. But
yeah, that's why it made me laugh, because I'm sure he like did a typo, but it's just funny he didn't even like look at it. Like that's why I said it made me laugh.
Okay, gotcha. Just making sure that wasn't something that. Oh, we have Claire. Is that Claire? Is that Claire in the chat?
Let's get Claire Lizzie in here. Yeah, you know what's crazy? You know what she made up? So when I left Jack, she made up this thing about me leaving a condom in a girl, and she was blacked out drunk saying that I raped her. And what's so crazy about it is that she said I sent her $50 for a plan B, yet there's no receipt of a $50, me saying anything about it or anything like that. So in reality, there's no proof to the pudding, and I've never even fucked one of her friends, and you know what I mean? It's just like, how can you really stretch so far? Like, I would love for her to like, let's take this to a judicial court case, and let's take it the whole way through, Claire. Like, let's do it. Bring that friend up. Bring that friend. Let's do it. Let's run it. Let's give me that defamation bag. Like, let's go the whole way.
Okay, man, so obviously there's some
on you right now.
Yeah, she seems very upset. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up.
Now, once again, all just allegations, no proof behind it, but I'm gonna say it again. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened like that. But as you guys could see with that portion of the stream, Claire was in the chat, and it looks like they really have shit against each other. And I don't know who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Now, for the next portion, the situation with Mckinley and one of Jack's hometown friends, Andre, was clarified a little bit more. And once again, I just want to say it's all allegedly.
Another tweet that you put up. Now this here is saying, I wonder why he won't bring up the situation between him, his hometown friend Andre that fingered Mckinley in her sleep. Now would that essentially be a false allegation, or did that really happen?
No, that really happened. It's funny because I found out through Jack and through girls in the house. And the next morning I went to Jack and I was like, I know. And he was like, you know already? And I was like, yep. And so
was that like a common? Was that common? Like a common practice to happen?
That was literally insane. Like that was because so this was when we were already like a few weeks in with Jack and Mckinley being a thing. I'm on my own. I actually stopped going out with them, and I stopped going to the clubs and the yachts with them because I knew I needed to just stay on my own and just like in my own mind, just focus, the grind, everything. I literally stayed home at a point for all these things. And there was this one day where they all went out to sway, they all partied, whatever. and then they went back to the house. And the craziest part about it was that Jack and McKinley were in their room chilling, whatever. They're spending the night there, and then Andre, I don't want to throw one of the girls under the bus, but one of the girls fucked Andre, and then after fucking the girl, went to the room that McKinley was in, fingered her in her sleep. She woke up mid getting fingered, looks over, sees it's not Jack, and she freaks out and tells Jack to kick him out, and Jack had to kick Andre out of the room. And then I remember, because I was in the living room couch with his other hometown friend from New York, and we're just chilling watching YouTube.
Now, once again, there has not been any proof shown that this Andre guy actually did that, so I don't really know if I want to believe that. But I'm also not going to believe McKinley when she says that Matt was the one who did it, because there's evidence that shows that, like, she was really interested in him, and I just don't believe it. But that's just me. You can have a different opinion on it. But anyways, moving on. Now, in this next part coming up, they talk about one time months ago when Matt went to Jack's house and Jack was live streaming. Jack goes on to call Matt an R word, but for whatever reason, nobody can give a name on who was, you know, R worded, on who Matt R worded. Like, it's weird. If somebody was R worded and it's true, and Jack claims what he is claiming, that they have names on who it was, why wouldn't they reveal it right now? And then why would Jack say one of the girls has the name, only for her to say something about the situation, and then he blatantly just says that she is lying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Just take a look.
Bro, praises God, but then fucking rapes girls. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, who's the girl then?
So they pressed him saying, who's the girl? Okay, who's the girl then?
Bring up the receipts.
Don't name
receipts.
She has the names right there.
She has the name right there. Who is he referring to when he says that?
So he's talking to Claire, and Claire doesn't have any name, so she knows later on she doesn't want this biting her in the butt, so she stays quiet and walks away.
Okay, got it. Let me go ahead and continue.
She's got names.
She's got names, he says.
She's got names. You know the names
She
too.
hasn't dropped a single one, so I really wonder when this comes out.
And then he says, you have the names too. And then there's this blonde girl that's like smiling with a very weird smile. Looks pretty smug to me. And she's nodding her head like she has names.
You hella uncomfortable too one night? Yeah, you had this girl scared for her life, bro.
Yeah, I actually posted a tweet about her. I said a tweet about her. I said, don't make her feel special. I flirted with her once. I saw she didn't vibe with me, so I fucked off. So her coming up with like all this stuff of me making her uncomfortable, that's crazy, because all I did was do small talk, saw she was interested, and I didn't talk to her since. So for her to go that whole route is like literally insane. So
okay, so she's saying you made her feel uncomfortable, right? But then this happens.
You told me to pull up into your room, and
You told me to pull up into your room.
I actually slept in the same bed as Jack and Claire.
And I slept in the same bed as Jack and Claire. Go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so she said, I slept in the same bed as Jack and Claire, and then Jack turns like, wait, what? No, don't listen to her. She's lying. So if this girl that apparently has the detail on me, how is Jack gonna look at her after she's finishes speaking and says, don't listen to her, she's lying?
So let's get into the first part though. Why does she say?
You told me to pull up into your room.
You told me to pull up into your room. Why does she say that?
Yeah, because I was probably like, yo, pull up, like, because we were probably talking, and I was like, yo, pull up to my room, like, let's talk in here. And
okay, so
as everything goes, if a girl pulls up into your room, that only means one thing, and like you move on from there. It's flirting, it's breaking down the boundaries, like seeing if a girl likes you. If she plays the game of tennis with you, you will get to the end goal. But I'm shooting my shots. I'm like, hey, like, you want to come chill with me? Simple as that. Like, I'm a dude. She's cute, whatever. She didn't vibe with me. Cool. I fucked off. I go back to texting all the other girls that I could text, and that would want me way more than she does. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? It's like I didn't even care much of it. And then she goes on and says how she goes to lay down with Jack in her bed, but then that's not even true. So it's like, what is she saying that's true?
Let's play that second part real quick.
It's Jack and Claire, because I was so fucking uncomfortable.
And then he's like, whoa, no.
I never sucked in a bed.
I also forgot to mention, it's kind of weird how Claire just walks away if she has the name. Like, why not just go out there and say who it was if you are not lying? Like, that could be a huge sign that this is all fabricated to make Matt look bad. I don't know that for sure, but that could be the case. But yeah, once again, it's weird how they just do not give a name on who it was. And then this girl apparently made something up that Jack didn't like. So Jack just flat out called her a liar. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It really does not. And something is definitely up here. I don't don't know what it is. We might never know. But if Jack is actually behind the scenes doing this stuff, doing this criminal type behavior, like I really hope he does get looked into by the feds, and I hope they do something about him, because this is really damning shit. The grooming, the drug abuse, the fraud, scamming these females into doing OnlyFans, and just overall being a piece of shit. Like, I don't know what else to say about this guy. And I know it's all allegations, but I really would not be surprised if like all of this stuff was true. And I don't think you guys would be surprised either. Now, the portions I took from the Joker's stream are like the main points and the main allegations that have been made against him. Throughout the stream, they have a discussion with Matt about Jack, and Matt also goes on to clarify a few more things that we already went over in the beginning of this video. But if you guys are interested in watching that whole stream, I will be putting it in the description, so make sure you go check it out. Once again, very good stream by the Joker. I really appreciate his coverage on the situation, and yeah, make sure you go check him out and maybe give him a follow. Now, anyways, with that being said, I think I'm gonna be wrapping this video up because we have definitely been going on for way too long. And I just wanted to say, I'm really not trying to make these long videos. I really never wanted to make these long videos, and I'd rather keep them from like 10 to 20 minutes long. But this was a really big situation, and I had a lot to go over, so it just happened to be that long. Hopefully it's not too long for you guys. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end. And I hope me making a video on this situation helps get it covered more by other people, other commentary YouTubers, because it looks like DramaAlert and Keemstar, or more specifically DramaAlert, because I understand why Keemstar would not want to cover it because of what Matt did. Matt claimed that Keem was being paid by Jack, which we don't know if that's true at all. I mean, that's like the most baseless claim ever, because you just don't know. But yeah, I can understand why Keem is treating you as if you're a joke. So, but yeah, no, I really don't think DramaAlert is really going to cover the situation beyond, oh, Jack and this Matt guy are beefing on Twitter, because they did make a tweet saying that, but they didn't really go into depth about everything. And knowing DramaAlert, I'm not really surprised, and I don't think they're going to really cover this whole situation, let alone that the person who runs DramaAlert, I woke up to a tweet today, "Good morning to everyone but Jack Doherty's haters. Stay mad, he's hotter than you." Then she goes on to say, "Stay mad because you're ugly, Matt." Like, I can see why they're against him because of what he said about Keemstar, but still, I mean, this is a pretty big situation, and I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if they didn't want this information to come out anyways, because right now, like, the only thing that DramaAlert is really like tweeting about is like people like Jack Doherty, Neon, and other kick streamers who do things mainly to get attention. And it really is safe to say that rage baiting is a really successful thing to do. So I can see why DramaAlert, especially when they report on like Jack Doherty and Neon, and the main attention that they get is from those people and the content that they make. I'm really not surprised that they wouldn't want to cover something that would literally crucify Jack if it's true. That's just what I think though. Really wouldn't be surprised. DramaAlert, if you guys are not aware, isn't like the best source of news, but I will admit I do get a lot of video ideas from them. But yeah, no, when you're looking at DramaAlert's Twitter page, take everything you see on there with a grain of fucking salt, because you never know what they're trying to twist or trying to blow out of proportion to get views. Like, I'll be honest here, their number one top priority from what I've seen is not journalistic integrity. It's literally just tweet out whatever is going to get the most amount of clicks, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, anyways, with that being said, if you happen to enjoy this video and you thought it was entertaining, informative, whatever, make sure you give it a like, comment, and subscribe so the video will get promoted more in the algorithm so more people will see it. Thank you guys so much for being a member to the channel. Your support really means the world to me, and I really do appreciate it. This video was supposed to be coming out yesterday, but I didn't have enough time to make it because I started really late yesterday, and hopefully as time goes on, I will get better about that. And I'd say give it another week, and I should be able to get these things out when I want to get them out. But anyways, besides that, my name is Brion, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.